Yeah. Well, I'd like to know what do you think about this match? If you think you played better than those two finals that you won versus Murray and versus Roddick, because in my opinion the level of the match today was probably better, but I have no idea if you agree.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot agree just because it's totally different matchups, you know. With Roddick, it was more of a serving contest. With Murray, it went from outdoors to indoors to so much on the line and so much pressure, and he's a different player to Novak entirely that I can't really compare. I thought the match was a good one, you know. I thought it had everything for fans to like. I think, you know, the swing of momentum in the first set, the closeness, or him coming back in the second, you know, the staying even in the third, and then, you know, all the back and forth in the fourth set, you know, and then the drama in the fifth. So from that standpoint, I thought it was an interesting match. The level I thought was good, you know. I don't feel I necessarily played my absolute very best, but because I couldn't break for over 3 sets, for me that was disappointing. But I thought Novak played well in those areas, you know, on his serve, and make sure that he didn't have any letdowns there. So no, I thought it was a great match, and I enjoyed it to be part of it.
It was a very high quality match, and maybe the men's tennis is getting better and better. You get all the young guys to come up to. What do you think is the resemblance of those new and young guys coming compared to the 4 of you that have been there for so long?
The resemblance?
I'm sorry, maybe I'm saying the wrong word. How can you describe those new up and coming guys compared to the 4 of you that are up there now?
Well, we all made the breakthrough much earlier than most of the guys, and not just a match here or there. I mean, I can't put myself in the league of Rafa because he was one of the best teenagers we ever had, besides Bjorn Borg. I wasn't that guy. I was, I guess, better at 21, 22, or 20. That's when I started to make my rise. So there's not that many young guys. There's only really one teenager in the top 100, and we wish we had more. And the other guys we're talking about are all 22, 23, who've been on tour already for 5 years. I mean, nevertheless, it's exciting, but you cannot compare them to Rafa, Novak, or Murray, who were incredible good already at a young age.
But
Roger, can you describe what it's like coming back from the almost dead a few times in this thing, and what was going through your mind, the kind of fortitude that you had to keep battling?
Well, I just kept going, you know. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't breaking Novak's serve or actually creating opportunities. You know, I think it's one thing not to break. That can happen, you know, if the other guy plays well in the big moments and all that stuff. But it was really not creating enough opportunities to put Novak under pressure, you know. And it's really only until the fourth set, when I was down at break, that I started to understand more how to return him, which was a surprise for me because I've played him that many times, you know. But I think, like I mentioned before, he was doing a good job on his serve, you know, of making a high first serve percentage, you know, staying aggressive from the baseline, not making any easy errors and all that stuff. So I kept believing and kept, you know, trying to play offensive tennis, and I'm happy it paid off in some instances. So as you can imagine, I'm very disappointed, you know, not being rewarded with victory, but it was close, you know. Novak deserved it at the end, clearly, but it was extremely close.
Roger, you've experienced a lot of emotions on this court. What were your emotions at the end of this match and during the ceremonies?
Well, I mean, it's just nice being in a Wimbledon finals #1, you know. Winning or losing, it's always something special and something you'll remember, even more so when the match is as dramatic as it was today. It's even more memorable when I see my kids there with my wife and everything. That's what touched me the most, to be quite honest. The disappointment of the match itself, you know, went pretty quickly. I was sad, you know, for a few minutes, but so happy to see family and a lot of nice ovations from the crowd, you know, that lifted me up and made me feel better, no doubt, you know. So I got over it fairly quickly, you know, but clearly I was very sad, walking off the court, not with the winner's trophy.
The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge were clearly supporting yourself. I'm not sure if you were aware of that, but did you? How does that make you feel? And did you see them afterwards? Did they say anything to you?
Yeah, I did see them afterwards, and I wasn't in a great state. I was unbelievably sad at that moment, just when I left the court. So it was a difficult moment for, I think, the three of us. But they were very sweet to comfort me and wish me well, and that they enjoyed the match and all these things. So we've met previously, so that helped, I think. And clearly it makes me very happy to see them being supportive of my game and supportive of tennis overall. It's really nice seeing them there at the Wimbledon finals, and also at the semi-quarters maybe. I think they were there as well. I think it's wonderful.
Two questions there on the field.
Oh, okay. Roger, when you're entering the fifth set of a final at Wimbledon, how significant psychologically is it to serve first as opposed to serving second, or was that a factor of consequence today, do you think, on any level?
I don't necessarily think it is an advantage or a disadvantage, but the commentators always seem to feel that is the case. So I couldn't care less, to be quite honest, So
Thank you.
it's pretty simple. Let's put it that way.
Thank you.
Okay.
Roger, I'm sure you don't dwell on it, but what does go through your mind when you see Mirka and your family there? And secondly, and very different, what was your switch in terms of returning Novak's serve and putting pressure on him later in the match?
Well, I just felt like I changed, the way I approached the return, and then also how I played the rallies from the baseline, because I felt like there was opportunities and options for me to do different things, but for some reason it never really ended up being, 15-30, 30 all, and putting Novak under pressure enough. So he could always free serve, free swing, take chance on his second serve, and yeah, so I felt like that was my biggest problem really overall, and I think that's where I lost the match, because I served well myself throughout, and I feel like if I would have returned better, or would have understood it earlier, or if he would have helped me out just a little bit, things could have been quite different today. But like I said, credit to him for doing it, also for as long as he did, until the fourth, when things got a bit crazy, and like I said, it's wonderful playing in front of not family, because they weren't there till the very end, but it's nice sharing that moment with friends and family on such a big stage, really.
At the back, and then yes, you, sir.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Rightly or wrongly, Roger, many tennis fans will be wondering whether that could be the last time they see you in a Wimbledon final. Do they have a point, or does a performance like that give you renewed belief in yourself as you go into your 30s?
Could have asked me exactly that question in 2003. So, no, you don't know. It's just totally the unknown, and that's the disappointment of an Olympic result, of a World Cup result, of a Wimbledon result, whatever it is. You just got to wait and see. There is no guarantee that you're going to be ever there again or not, or maybe there's much more to come. It's really impossible to answer that question. I'm very happy to see that, with feeling normal, that I can produce a performance like I did the last 2 weeks, and that clearly makes me believe that this was just a stepping stone to many more great things in the future.
When Andy Murray got knocked out, the way he was speaking, he was talking like he felt a bit old, which was kind of strange. And I just wondered how, you've got a few years on Andy as well, just whether you see the younger guys coming up, or whether you can still cut it, you think?
Yeah, I don't feel like, a huge threat by them. I feel like, yeah, they were good, and there's many good players from, whatever, 5 to or 6 to whatever, 20. They're all unbelievably strong, and but they're also somewhat exchangeable from 30 or 40. So I think it's actually very strong in that level between 5 and 40, in my opinion. There's a lot of dangerous players around there. But I feel like if I'm playing well, I feel like I can control the field to a degree. Clearly, then it's never a guarantee, like I mentioned. But I do believe the top guys are the ones we know and who are still going to be deciding outcomes of the bigger tournaments like the Masters 1000s and the Grand Slams and the World Tour finals, you know, in my opinion.
Roger, how much did you feel like you had the momentum in the fifth set, and how big a moment did you think the break point that he saved was?
No, I thought it was an even match in the fifth. I didn't feel like unbelievable momentum in the fifth, you know. It was big, you know, to get it, you know, but I think once he held once or twice, I think that was important for him, but it also was important for me not to be broken, because that's exactly when one of the players can have a letdown, and I don't think we both had that. So it went step for step, you know, for both of us. I do believe I had my chance there when I had break point, and maybe if I make the pass and make him hit a dink volley, I mean, you know, I would have liked to see what would have happened, but, you know, credit for him to hit the first big forehand, hit another big forehand, and follow it to the net and be brave on it. I tried the same, you know, myself, to come to net when it really mattered, and unfortunately, you know, at the very end, he got me. So it was a tough finish, but it was extremely close.
Roger, did it feel a bit like a home Davis Cup tie in a way? The atmosphere, the support that you got from the crowd here at Wimbledon?
No, yeah, I mean, I'm always.
And that's Roger Federer, who's